Now, I have never actually feared for my life. That's never happened. My greatest fears have been more of the inner kind. I had great fear the first time I ever got in front of people and tried to talk. As a matter of fact, in polls done, public speaking is the number one fear that people have, even higher than death. I have feared consequences of my bad choices. I have feared consequences of other people's bad choices. I have feared calamities. I've had many nights of lost sleep. Everybody get out your little violins here, all right? I've lost sleep over things going on in my family, things going on in my church, threats to relationships, unresolved issues, things that I had to do that I didn't feel like I was really up to. I used to worry about money quite a bit, but I really don't so much anymore, not because I'm rich, but because God has finally got it through my thick skull that He's going to provide for me. And I'm kind of glad to not have that as a consuming worry anymore. But there's a lot of candidates for the worst fear. And if you're like me and you can't think of number one, just pick one. Just pick one. A great fear that you have had, or even possibly that you have now. Imagine yourself in your worst nightmare when suddenly the hand of hands rests firmly but gently on your shoulder. Verses 12 through 16 describe the vision of the risen and glorified Christ that John saw, a sight that made him, as you saw just a little while ago, faint to the floor. It was so fearful and so awesome that even this great apostle fainted at the sight of it. When I saw him, I fell at his feet like a dead man, and he placed his right hand on me, saying, "Do not be afraid. I am the first and the last and the living one, and I was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore, and I have the keys of death and of Hades." In that moment of your greatest fear, sorrow, or pain, where is Jesus? You know, I've talked to many people who, when they remembered back on those times, they felt like He wasn't there. Or if they're in one of those times right now, they think that He isn't there. And I have felt that way. Have you ever felt like He wasn't there? I have felt forsaken by God before, but I was not, in fact, forsaken. There's a difference between feeling forsaken and actually, in fact, being forsaken. And I have never even for 1 second actually in reality been forsaken. If I felt that way, I was wrong. Because Jesus Himself said, "I will never leave you or forsake you." Now that is one thing that cannot be broken. There may be times and things that you face in the future that are going to be difficult, that may be painful, that may be scary, but never, ever are you going to face anything or go through anything that is an indication that Jesus has forsaken you. Because He will never forsake you for even 1 second.